following breaking news out of Hollywood. Sky 9 live over a standoff with a dangerous suspect, and that incident has shut down part of the 101. Hello and welcome to KCAL 9 News at noon and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Amy Johnson. Now, deputies are negotiating with that suspect wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. This is happening on Cahuenga Boulevard near Odin Street. KCAL 9's Jeff Nguyen is live at the scene with the very latest for us. Jeff.
So, Amy, in the last few seconds, we've heard a few popping sounds, and here's why we are drawing attention to that. Let me step aside so that Joel Fallon can kind of zoom into that armored vehicle right there. That is from the Sheriff's Department, which is the Special Enforcement Bureau. That is the Sheriff's Department's version of SWAT. Right now, let's go ahead and do this. Let's kick it up to Sky 9 so you can get an overview of this apartment complex where this barricade has been going down. The backstory here is that a law enforcement source tells us that around 8:30 this morning, the Sheriff's Department served an eviction notice. At that point, deputies heard at least one gunshot, and so deputies pulled back. After that, a law enforcement helicopter was able to spot some movement inside that apartment unit, and because of that, SEB, or Special Enforcement Bureau, was sent out here along with all of that armored vehicle. So far, we do not know if anyone is still inside that apartment. We don't know if a negotiator has been able to make contact with that person or not. But what we can tell you is that a number of tenants have told us that around 9 o'clock or so, they were asked to evacuate. A lot of them were still in the clothes that they had on, when they were woken up at around 9 o'clock this morning. So some of them are out here on flip-flops. A number of them do not want to be on camera, but at least that is what they are sharing with us. We just heard another pop right now, so from the distance that we are, I can't tell you if that's a flashbang or if they are trying to gain entry, because I just don't have that vantage point, even with the chopper. And again, one more pop. What you can probably see from the chopper is that both directions of the northbound 101 freeway has been has been closed. The reason I said shot is because I did hear just another pop right now. So we don't know if SEB or the Special Enforcement Bureau is trying to gain entry into that apartment or not. But if that is what they are trying to do, then that would explain why they had this evacuation order in place to get people out. To be fair, let's not guess. So what I am hearing is some noise. We don't know if that's a flashbang or if they are using something to knock down the door, because there is so much distance. As you know, Amy, when there is this sort of barricade situation, the law enforcement folks will keep us back for a number of reasons, safety, of course, and so that is why we are not able to have a direct line of sight. On top of that, where we are on Cahuenga, it kind of bends where Odin Street is, and then on the other side of that is the 101 freeway. So just because of the way this street is formed and the topography and the Hollywood Hills and just the way the apartments are kind of set up, it's kind of just, hard to just have a straight line of sight. But we are continuously hearing some noise out here. So in the last minute or so during this live shot, I've heard at least about half a dozen bangs or so. I'm hearing some sirens right now, so I don't know if they are trying to get more units in here, but I do see a huge semi-truck from the Sheriff's Department. Typically what it is that is rolling in here, it looks like one of those mobile command posts, and so even when you are law enforcement, you got to battle with some of the traffic that everyday drivers have to deal with. This part of the Hollywood Hills is just completely packed right now. We're talking about the area near the Ford Theater, which is about east of the 101 freeway. I've asked Joel Fallon to kind of turn the camera around here on Cahuenga, basically east of Odin Street, and you can see the Sheriff's Department's mobile command post kind of rolling in here and basically stuck in traffic just like everybody else that's trying to navigate through here. I did hear something in my ear from the control room. If you want to repeat that, let me know. If you need me to wrap, I'll toss it back to Amy, but if you want me to keep on going, just please let me know. But I'm going to keep on talking until somebody tells me to stop. And on your screen right now is that white big rig with the flashing blue and red right there, and that appears to be mobile command post. Just bear with me a little bit. And no, it's the bomb squad appearing now. I'm being told to wrap, so let me go ahead and honor that request and send it back to you, Amy.
All right, Jeff, thank you for that. A lot going